And that's how we do it, like downtown, just fade in and fade out and whatnot. Good afternoon, everybody. It is Saturday, and it's about 11 o'clock Pacific time, 2 o'clock Eastern, and some kind of time, I think 6 p.m. in London. And that means it's time for the virtual Pipe Club meeting of the week. And we've been off for, 2 weeks. Is that how it works? We've been off. It's been 2 weeks since our last meeting. We were off for a week last week for the 4th of July weekend. And so it's good to be back. Let's see where I can find you all. There we go. That's it. There's the Zoom room guys right there. Say hello, Zoom room guys.
Hello.
See, there we go.
Hey, everybody. Welcome to the meeting.
Welcome.
Hello, Zoom.
Hello, everyone.
And as we do that, I'm trying to resize our screen there so that I can capture everybody. And acknowledge that we are simultaneously live streaming to Facebook in a few places.
You warm yet?
And
I am.
And to YouTube. And so if you're watching over there on one of those live streaming channels, welcome. Let me just check. See, there's people already. Bill McCullough's over there saying hello all. Bill, we miss you. And WKR Piper in Cincinnati's there. Sweet. So welcome. To get things rolling. Oh, by the way, if you are watching over there on the live stream, first of all, let me extend the invitation for you to come on in and join us in the Zoom room. It's cool here. These guys are very nice. And we can do some more conversation if you want to join us.
What's she saying?
She's coming over.
And
oh my, she's not working?
And there we go. And if you want to find the link, just go to any one of the Facebook groups about pipe smoking, and the link is there. So you can it's just that easy. Click the link. But you don't have to. You can just stay right here. And as we go through today and today's topic, if you want to ask questions or contribute to the group, today's a great day to do that. And I will throw your comments into the group here. Oliver is not here today, so we have a substitute teacher, Jürgen, to help us with our tradition of checking in with what you got in your pipe and what kind of pipe it is. So, Jürgen, my brother, why don't you get us started?
Hello. Good evening. Good afternoon, good morning, wherever you are. I'm the substitute for Oliver, as the DDR said. And I will start right now with my what I'm smoking today. I have the Rocinante, it's called. It's a series of limited tobacco, and it's pre-aged from the manufacturer. I will write something on the blog tomorrow about this series. It's a Virginia, and there is a Burley blend and also a English blend. And on the second round, I will smoke also a HU blend. It's a new one coming home. This is a permanently blend, so you can get it anytime. It's a Danish mixture. I'm smoking it in my Altank Basic, Rustic, and later on I have my Barantini Canadian. So I give my virtual pipe over to, let me see, there are hands rising. Kent, what are you smoking today?
Thank you, Jürgen. I will be smoking when I fill it up this Debrecen pipe, a true Hungarian. The maker is E. Seiler, and maybe some of you have some of these. They were around in the 1700s and early 1800s. Don't know exactly how old they are. This one has been refurbished because it's got a modern mouthpiece. The bit on this one is traditionally horn, So there we go. I'm going to fill it with some.
You went mute, man.
Sorry, don't know how I did that. Anyway, so did you hear? It's the stoved black Virginia that I'm going to put in a pipe.
We have heard it. Right now we have heard it. It's an interesting pipe, Kent. How is the smoking experience with that pipe? Is it difficult to smoke it?
It can be a little bit warm. And as you can see, it's a tall bowl, so that contributes to some of that. But it teaches you to sip. Let's just say that.
Yeah.
So
that's a good thing.
Yeah, I will pass the virtual pipe on to Randall. You're muted still.
Hello, everybody. Hope you're having a fine day. We got a beautiful sunny day, not too humid, not too hot, just excellent. I'm working my Bones billiard here, one of my favorites. They're all my favorite. Everything's my favorite. And I've got some Prince Albert in it, another favorite. So, how about John in North Carolina?
Hey, everyone. The first time smoking in the club pipe, so should be familiar for everyone. Nice Bones, low vat. And the blend I'm smoking today is what I call my wastebasket blend. It's a collection of odds and ends that have built up over time, and I dump them all in the big jar along with one of those little moisturizing coins so they don't dry out over time. So this has got it has very English type notes to it. It has a lot of toasted Cavendish into it from the smell and the taste. I'd say there's a fair amount, a lot of Kia that got tossed into this along with some Virginias. So it's a smooth smoking blend, even if it's all odds and ends. So I will pass the virtual pipe on to Justin.
Thanks, John. Today I'm smoking some Miskatonic mixture up in my my Roma churchboard, and I gotta say I got this mixture earlier in the week, and I haven't been able to put it down. I don't know what it is. You know, usually I really like a lot of Virginias, or I like really heavy Englishes, but this thing's just, it's so smokable. How about we pass the pipe on over to Russell Little?
Good morning. Thank you, Justin. I'm in my Dagner cob here, which I'm really enjoying. I have University Flake from Peterson. So very nice Saturday morning. How about over to Dennis?
There, make sure I'm unmuted, although that's rare. Good morning, afternoon, evening, everybody. Got something I bought from Simon, an LCS pipe, big sucker. This thing is huge, but it's got a relatively small bore in the bottom. So it's got a lot of, I'm sorry. Oh, anyway, it's got a small bore on it, so it's a long, thin tube. It's been perfect so far for Virginias. So I put some Viprati in it so far, and it's working out good. Although, frankly, this is about the fourth or fifth time I put anything in there. At that point, I'll turn it over to Miguel Oliveros.
Thank you, Dennis. I appreciate it. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, everyone. I'm smoking the first round. I'm going to be using the Tom Eltang poker and with bamboo, and then the tobacco will be the McBarrett Virginia #1 right there. And then the second one will be the one, second round will be this Castello C-Rock 2K with Solani Virginia with Perry. Thank you, guys. And I'll pass the virtual pipe to Lou Carbone.
Thank you, Miguel. Greetings, everyone, from Queens, New York City. Today, I am smoking. I'm smoking a Wolfgang Becker Tan Blast, I guess. And in it, I am smoking some GLP's Union Square from 2013. So it's been in the jar for some time. Tastes great. I'm going to follow up with my Scotty Klein, great guy. Blowfish in there. I've got some McBaron Navy Flake from 2010. So a few aged tobaccos. And let's see. Let's pass it to fellow New York Pipe Club brother, Dimitri.
Hello, everybody. I'm starting with one of my Nut Sherman pipes. It has very unusual shape, but surprisingly, it smokes very well. And I'm smoking one of my blends, Hiawatha. And I have a few more pipes. Probably my next one will be this Aristocab. And let me pass pipe to Said.
Hi, good morning, everyone. And if anyone from Middle East, good night. I'm smoking Rainer Blend 75 Line Golden Flake, as you can see, and smoking Berbia First Kalbosh, Notch finish. Have a nice smoke, everyone.
That's a beautiful pipe.
Pass the virtual pipe to someone who has risen his hand. Look at the pictures and.
Steve, Mr. Steve, I guess.
And Said, it's nice to have you join us today. It's great to see you.
Yeah.
I don't know if you meant Steve in Colorado, but I'll go ahead and go. I'm a door smoker. So, and it was 107 degrees here yesterday, and it's 93 already. So I smoke, and I'm smoking my new Don Carlos Rhodesian. Really enjoying it. All his pipes smoke beautifully, and had some Peterson Deluxe Navy rolls. So why don't I pass it to Stephen Emus?
Thank you very much. Good morning, afternoon, and evening. I'm starting out with a meerschaum that I got, came from Vietnam. I got it on, I think it was eBay. And supposedly this is D'Artagnan. And it smokes really well. It's a shame that I somehow managed to break the original stem that was an amber stem, but I did find something that kind of fit. And then next we'll do another meerschaum, an apple that I got this 50 years ago in Kansas City at Fred Dybel's shop. And we've got some Peter Heinrich's Dark Strong in that one. And I will pass it over to our good man in Texas, Alvin.
Well, thank you, Stephen. I am smoking some Kramer's Father Dempsey in my Peterson Irish Heart. And it's a pretty big bowl, so I don't know if this might take me through part of the second round. We'll see. And nice sandblast on it, too. They did a good job on it. And it's pretty hot here, but Kramer's is a pretty medium light English, so it's still pretty refreshing to smoke. And let's see, I will pass it on to, let's see who's got their hand. David, you haven't went yet, have you? David Martinez.
Thank you, Albin. Good afternoon to everybody. No, I haven't yet. What I'm smoking right now, it's a Hans Christian Andersen. Let me put it away, like a George Warren, the one that comes with two stems, shorter than the one. I'm smoking some amazing Wessex Red Virginia flake. It's really wonderful. It's about 3 years old, from February 2018. And normally I tend to smoke this one for over 2 hours, 2-3 hours. So I don't know if I need a second one, but in case, I will be smoking one of my favorite Comoy prints. It's like a Sunblast one. I don't know if you guys can see it, but
Nice.
and I haven't decided what to smoke yet, but all right, what's next on the list? Steven, Alvin, Boris, you're next.
Hello from hot Helsinki. I'm smoking my Savinelli Oceano 320, and in it my parents' H.H. Burley, one of my favorite tobaccos. And I pass, wait.
Les Young is here, so maybe you pass it over to them.
I am ready.
Hey, go on.
Hello from London. I'm smoking this Chacon Bulldog, I guess it is, with Navy flake in it from McBaron. I'll pass it on to Amir.
Hi, thanks, Ian. Good morning, everybody. It's raining right now here. I wish I had some Balkan blend to smoke. So right now I'm smoking Scottish blend from John Ellsbury. It's a very spicy English, I might say. In my Panel Bulldog by Marek. This is the first one I have. So let's pass the pipe to Tim.
Thank you, Amir. Hello, everybody. Good to see you. Today, smoking my Radice Clear. I would call it a kind of a freehand Dublin. Very nice pipe. Acquired this when Radice's son came over to a trunk show at LJ Paredes and got a really nice price on it. It's a great pipe. And in it, I'm smoking McConnell Scottish Cake, one of my favorites. Later on, it'll be a Peterson, probably with an English. And so with that, I'm going to pass the pipe on to, pass the virtual pipe on to Pascal.
Hey, I finally made it. I'm smoking Full Virginia Flake from, I think, 2018 in this Tom L tank, Liverpool. And I'm passing the pipe to, let me see, who wasn't? David Hamilton Peters.
This is Ivan Kovacs again. I'm on a work account apparently. I'll switch in a moment. But anyway, in London and divs to Ian Reid, who must be awaiting a good result for England tomorrow. He's been a bit quiet about that, but yes, the whole of England is on tiptoes, waiting for the Europe Cup tomorrow. But I am smoking a Falcon in this beautiful snifter glass bowl, which I really like. And I found this pipe in Barcelona in a flea market years and years ago, part of a group. And it's a wonderful, wonderful smoker, always dry. And I've got some plum cake sort of equivalent in there. Great to be with you in very good company this evening. And is there anyone else who hasn't gone? I don't see any hands raised, and I don't necessarily see anyone who looks new to me anyway. Les Young, did you go? There's Tom Bowes as well, Thomas Bowes. Otherwise, we'll pass it back to the host.
So Les, would you say something what you're smoking today?
Yeah.
Rothschilds. Nice looking tinless.
Something that Dave opened at Detroit.
Rothschilds.
Gave me. Yeah. That's an oldie. And I'm smoking in Aurora.
Well, I heard not that much, but I appreciate what you are sharing with us. So, Thomas, would you say what you're smoking today? Thomas Bose, would you tell us what you're smoking today? Seems not to. So is anyone able to share what he's smoking today or hadn't that? Let me come back to Saeed Salek B. You're the first time here, right? Is that right? So tell us a little bit, where are you from and how long you smoking?
It's not my first time.
Not the first time, okay. I haven't seen you that yet, so that's my fault. Where are you from and how long you smoking?
I'm from Iran and I'm smoking almost 11 years, and I guess I'm the youngest one in the group. I'm 29 years old and
yeah, great to have you here. So
Yudin is 28.
Oh, that's very nice, Amir.
Amir, how much does he owe you?
That, but I say nothing.
Amir, how much money does Jürgen owe you? Does to butter him up like that?
That I need to know.
Just having fun. Just having fun.
I'll go.
DDR, we want to hear what you're DDR. What are you smoking?
What am I smoking today? So, and before I go into what I'm smoking today, the guys over there on Facebook and YouTube have been chipping in, and I wanted to find my glasses so that I could read them. Mike is smoking Peretti's Tashkent in a cob. Super. Getting old school there. By the way, Steph says Dimitri is just adorable. So there we are. And then I don't know if this is Steph or if it's Skip. Carter Hall in a Savinelli. That sounds like something that Skip would be smoking.
Mm-hmm.
And that's all that I've got for their shares. But they've been making a lot of other questions, and so I'm going to ask a question after I get done sharing what I'm smoking. So I am, first of all, smoking in one of the one of the Kareem pipes. So I've got a whole series of these Kareem pipes, and each one is carved in a really bizarre kind of way. This is like a dinosaur, like a big lizard. So it's got all these scales on it. I don't know if I can focus the camera here.
Is that his iguana pipe?
It's maybe this is the iguana. Yeah. I was trying to focus, but I guess it's not. But I've got some others that I've got, like a big sea serpent one with lots of ridges on that and all kinds of things. So I love this pipe. And I've got some KBV. I saw Boris was saying he had some KBV out. And this is the Moriarty, which is really delicious. But soon, when I smoke through that bowl, I'm going to switch to a a cigar. And Dimitri, this is a Rocky Patel.
Yeah, Rocky Patel Edge.
This is the Edge. That's right.
Yeah, Edge Corojo. Amazing cigar. It was actually best Honduran cigar of 2019, I think.
I'm looking forward to it. I pulled this out this morning and said, I think that's what's on the menu today.
It's absolutely delicious cigar.
I do have one question that I wanted to pass on to everybody. So Les is here, and I can't remember who else. Jürgen? Our Pipe Club Slow Smoke Contest winners. If you have your plaques and certificates that you got, if you could pull them out, because today is a great day for us to show them off. Oh, look at that. So there, let me just bring up Les's.
Yeah. Oh, Mike Rizzo wants.
There's Les's and.
Yeah, I have it here.
Mike Rizzo's coming in right now.
Yeah. And I have my pipe here. Thank you, Miguel, for donating this pipe. It's a beauty. I don't know the brand Lorenzetti.
Yeah, Lorenzetti. Yeah.
It's a nice pipe. Thank you.
You're welcome, Jürgen.
And
Les, you're welcome.
Lorenzettis are true smoking machines. They are usually on the heavier side. They are inexpensive but very durable. They are great smokers, and I believe, if not all of them, most of them come with a 9mm filter and the adapter.
Yeah, no, it's mine is a 9mm, but I'm smoking more and more without filters, but I have no problem to smoke a pipe without any filters. So.
And there's Kent with his third place plaque. Well done, all you guys, and thank you, Steph, for burning these out for us. These are really beautiful. These are these are really terrific, and that's their times. Let's do this one more time. So Kent, hold this up a little bit higher, sir, and move your thumb or your fingers because you're covering it. Okay, 58 minutes flat. There is his time on his win, and here's Jürgen. 1 hour, 6 minutes, and 56 seconds. Just
now
fantastic. And where's? Let me see if I can find Les one more time. Okay, there. Hold on. This is the challenging part. I have to push buttons. You know. Les, wait for me. I'm coming.
Even a monkey can do it.
Oh, there we go. I'm so sorry. All right, here's Les with his plaque, and it's 1 hour and is that 10 minutes?
Yeah.
1 hour, 10 minutes for our first annual slow smoke contest for the Virtual Pipe Club, and a virtual contest to boot. So that's really awesome. We'll do, and I think everybody said they want to do it again, right? So yeah. I think we'll definitely do another one. And if you missed out on a chance to be a part of the last one, come and join us the next time. I was, I think, tied for fourth-ish, something like that, which was the first time I was ever in one of these slow smoking events. And it was a lot more fun than I had thought. I thought it was going to be like watching paint dry. But to be honest with you, it was a lot more fun than that. So I'd encourage you guys to join in.
It looks like Les is wearing Stephanie's fez as well.
Ooh.
Yeah.
That's
right? Is that from Stephanie?
That's fancy.
That's yes.
So thanks, Steph.
Beautiful.
Let me see if I can Back there he is. There's Fez. There's Fez. There's Les with his Fez.
Like a 70s show, Fez.
Right. Right.
I got a suggestion. Maybe by the end of the year, we can make like a little video about mistakes. Like now, less Fez, Fez less.
We'll do a bloopers show.
Mistake video.
Blooper reel. Yeah.
That would
David
be.
did make it to an award. I think it was like a biggest mishap on YouTube on the Over the Pipe live stream last night. You didn't win first place, but your when you didn't know you were live streaming got onto there. So.
Yeah, I think you guys know that at my day job, we do a lot of live streaming. I have for years. And over the course of all those years, we've had a lot of unanticipated guests. Here on the Virtual Pipe Club, we got Zoom bombed by Pornhub one time. That was interesting. And it's fine now. I got a free membership out of it. So, but you never know what's going to happen.
What is Pornhub? Be more explanatory.
Do actually? Well, I think it's actually a run out of Spain. To be honest with you, I think.
No, it will be .es, not .com.
Okay. Well, today, oops, that's not what I want to do. There we go. Today, I thought we might have a bit of a conversation. We were scheduled, as I said, to have a guest today, but we pushed it to next week. So let me make this announcement now early, and then I'll do it again at the end of the meeting today to make sure everybody has heard it. Our next guest is Nikolai Nielsen, the owner of the Danish Pipe Shop. And so all the way from Copenhagen, we are going to have a chance to chat with him. And then on another meeting, we'll actually do a virtual tour of the Danish Pipe Shop. So he's been very generous with his time. But, and this is why we have to be sort of flexible with our times. We're going to move the next week's meeting to an earlier hour, like pretty darn early. So set your calendars for what we're doing next Saturday so that he's able to hang out with us. Because he told me, he said, like every good Scandinavian, I bicycle to work. And that means I have to bicycle home, and it's already dark, and it's a 45-minute bike ride. So I don't want to hold you up too late. So next week, I believe we will be at 8 a.m. No, 8:30, 9:30. I don't know. I'll post it. How about that? But it'll be earlier. And so set your time for that. Which means also that our visit from Shane Ireland from SmokingPipes.com will also be pushed back a little bit. But I have some other news about upcoming guests, and we'll talk about that towards the end of the show. Okay. So instead of having a conversation with Nick, I thought maybe today would be an interesting conversation about, like, where do you spend your money when it comes to your hobby? Pipes or tobacco? I think I know what David Martinez-Ruiz was going to tell me, but I'm not going to put any words in anybody's mouth, because last time I said that I was dead wrong. So let me send it back to Jürgen, and maybe Jürgen, you can bring that around and talk about that.
I take it over gladly. Yeah, spending time money on pipe. Well, I've bought more of these. So, but the most money I spend is on tobacco. For me, I spend more on tobacco. Pipes collecting is not so my thing. If I have pipes that I don't smoke, I give it away or trade it in for something. So for me, it's definitely tobacco. So let's start with my good friend David Martinez. What we want to conclude what DDR mentioned. Is it right or wrong?
The question to you is: do you spend more on L-Tanks or HU tobacco?
HU tobacco, definitely. So I'm ready now. I have enough of that. I don't buy anymore. Yeah, so I'm done. When I spend more on L-Tank pipes, it will be another shape or another line. So, but not this year, hopefully.
I mean, I'm more a tobacco guy than everybody knows than a pipe guy. I got about 100 pipes, but I'm downsizing the collection because some of them I don't smoke them anymore, or just because I used to have a lot of free hands that I like. And I'm more a group 3, group 4, group 2 guy. So group 5 and beyond I barely smoke them anymore. In terms of tobaccos, I've been trying when I came to the States, I tried pretty much everything that McClellan has or GLPs, Cornell and Deal for sure. Some Seattle Pipe Club, but I didn't get too convinced with that. It has too much casing to me or topping. And the Sad Leaf, same thing. So I've been trying different ones. And then the ones that we have in Europe, it was mostly aromatics, some Balkan Sobrani, 3 Nans, Lakelands, which I don't care, and Samuel Gawith. They were coming into Europe when I was coming here. So it took me probably 2-3 years to get into the Samuel Gawith. I was kind of behind a lot of people, but I'm mostly that. So I can ask, I know Mike Rizzo has a lot to say about Latakias and his love for that.
Yeah, so obviously I'm not a Latakia lover at all, but I tend to go in spurts. For a while I was real big into pipes, but I feel like the smartest thing to do is to buy tobacco and as much as you can now, because like a person wiser than myself said, it's never going to be more available and it's never going to be cheaper than it is now. So I'm going to go up. Blends are only going to disappear potentially with all the deeming regulations. So if there's stuff you like, get as much as you can now, pack it away. And this way, like the McClellans, if it's not available down the road or the prices go crazy, you have enough of it to hopefully sustain you for a while. But with that being said, I will go on I've been good lately. I haven't bought a new pipe in a few months, which for me is good, but I'll go on a tear where I'll buy like 3 or 4 or 5 pipes and then I'm like, all right, I gotta stop. So smart thinking is tobacco, but not always the case. So what do you got, Tim?
Well, I'll break it up into eras of being involved in pipes. When I first started, I was heavily into buying pipes, and I mean, total right now I probably have about 125, and some have come and some go. So in the beginning of the first part, I think I was probably more into purchasing pipes and of all different kinds of brands, and more recently been kind of concentrating my collection on Petersons, and I really like Il Seppos. I'm into them, but definitely more recently, I've been into buying tobaccos and stockpiling things and trying new things, pretty much in the Virginia and English era. And I like Mike's advice. I mean, the whole things will eventually go away, which is a big scare. So I think it's important to purchase, get as much as you can of that tobacco, very, very important. So I'm going to ask this question of Randall, and thanks, Mike, for passing that on to me. Randall, how about you?
Mixed bag, I guess I'd say. For a long, long time, I was just targeting pipes, and I still do to some extent. But I've gotten to the point now where I look at pipes, but for me to buy it, it's got to really ring my bell. It's got to be right there and just everything perfect, and you don't see that a lot. So I guess I am now gravitating more to tobaccos. And hopefully, like all of us, trying to stockpile or acquire the most of your favorite. And sometimes that's not always easy to do, but you got to work at it. It's a work in progress, I guess. So basically, I'm a tobacco guy, but if I see a really cool pipe that I like, I'll grab it.
That sounds after a good plan.
Hey, let me ask a question of the guys who have gone already, and then maybe going forward. Some of the guys who've been around for several years and may have been to some of the pipe shows. Speaking as one who hasn't been to a pipe show yet, but I've watched enough videos, listened to enough people about the hundreds and hundreds of pipes that you see at the pipe show. How much of, if you're one of those pipe collectors, how much of your collection came from a pipe show, picking up something at the table?
I think luckily I've not been to one yet, because knowing myself, I mean, if I go to one, it's going to be bad. So whenever I get to one, I'm going to be pretty light in the pocket after leaving there, for sure.
I was at a pipe show in by Washington, D.C. in Virginia, and just so happened Marty Pulvers was standing next to me. We walked in together, and it was our first view of what they had there. And he looked at me and he said, "Oh my God, it's sensory overload." And it absolutely was. So, boy, be prepared. And you cannot carry enough cash with you. You just can't. It's endless. Be prepared.
Leave your credit cards at home.
No, I don't. Well, maybe now some do. Yeah, maybe, probably.
I'll add one comment about the pipe shows. They are indeed an overload. I've been to the New York Pipe Show many years in a row, and it's exactly that. And one thing I've learned over the years is that if you see something you really like and you think it's the pipe for you, and if you can purchase it, it's a good idea to purchase it because it can be gone. I had an experience where I was in Paredes, saw this Dunhill, chubby apple, and was there for about a year. And every time I go in there, I'd say, "Oh, I'm going to get it. It'll still be there." And one day went in to buy it and it wasn't there, and haven't seen anything like it since.
That's great. I hear that echoed over and over again. If you see something you think you might want it, you better grab it, because you want to walk around, see some more, you come back, it's gone.
Yep. By the way, Mike from Briar Blues, who was on in our meeting a few weeks ago, says never go downstairs with a credit card, because it will burn up in your pocket. He said budget your cash, and when it's gone, it's just like going to Vegas and gambling. Like, don't go over budget. Don't pawn your wedding ring to buy pipes.
I think what I do, since I've been in several, it's mostly like go with a budget. Let's say you want to spend $400, $500, doesn't matter. Get it in cash, different bills, because if they have to trade you money, but the problem now is all these sellers who have on their phone their credit card or the PayPal
swipe
option, that's awful. That's the worst idea for buyers.
I think another good idea about pipe shows, if you're interested in a pipe, you know what it is, you know what it looks like, hunt it. Because there'll be plenty of opportunity to, oh, this is good, that's good. Oh, what about this one? If you've got a specific pipe, hunt for it, look for it. You'll probably find it.
You're going to take us back to, I hijacked the conversation, but let's get back to.
I was a little bit working with my pipe, so I'm in my second round. So let me pass on the question how you spend your money to Dennis. It's more on pipes or it's on tobacco? Can you tell us something about that topic, or is it dangerous?
Yeah, it's dangerous because, well, here, let me shift my camera for a minute and everybody can look at, let's see if I've got it right here. Yeah, you'll notice the top collection is all corn cobs of various types. The bottom collection is mostly briars, some meerschaums, and a few mortas. Because of all you guys, I didn't even know mortas existed until you boys started teaching me about mortas. And then I'm not done yet. Let's see, back on that shelf, there's another whole row of about 30, including a few pipes here and there. Now, so, you know, it looks like I'm loaded with briars, but that's because we're looking. I started by working at a pipe store during college years in the 70s. So about a third of my pipes here was accumulated when I worked there, simply because I got them at 50% off. You know, so if you can ever work at a pipe show or pipe store, just, you know, do it, because you get a hell of a discount, guys, including the tobacco.
But then you work for free.
I was willing to do that. I retired and I went over to our local pipe puffer, the local store here, but less than a mile from me. Most of the guys have worked there for 15 years and refused to quit. So, you know, at that point, we're stuck. But when it comes down to, so it looks like I got a hell of a lot of pipes, which I do. But lately, probably because I got too many damn pipes, and believe it or not, guys, I rotate through the whole damn stack. I don't have really a favorite. Even the one I got from Simon, this LCS that I bought a couple months ago, which, by the way, is a gorgeous pipe, both looks and smoke so far. I go through all of mine. And I agree with, I forget who said it, that anymore, it has to hit all your tingles to buy one. And that's what I've been doing lately, either through eBay or Bishop's Pipes, who I happen to like because he cleans them all the time. Or, in other words, it's got to hit something to me or I'm not going to buy it because I got too many. So lately, I've now switched to, I'm starting to do tobaccos. Because here, let me shift this thing again. Down here, down below, I'm starting to collect various tobacco jars that are pretty decent. And down below in that closed space happens to be that thing is almost filled with tobacco down there. So I agree with you guys about, hey, if it's a good price and you can get it now. And then I've been, some of the stores around here on occasion sell nice ceramic containers that hold 7 or 8 ounces of tobacco. And so I've been purchasing them and putting them down there and storing them. So I guess I'd say I'm a combined collector. I started with pipes, now I'm switching to tobacco. But if I find a good pipe, yeah, I'm going to go buy it. But now I'm more or less experimenting with tobaccos. And then the other question, which was about pipe shows, I'm cheap. I go to a pipe show and all I see are $400 and $500 and $600 pipes. I went over to the one pipe show I've been at, which was Chicago a couple of years ago. I bought a corn cob from Missouri Meerschaum. That was it. What I went there for was Sutliff had a complete collection of tobaccos where you could then buy 1 ounce tobaccos cheap. So I went through almost all of their stuff, smelled it and loved it all and picked what I wanted. And then a couple other guys were selling different blends, and that's what I ended up doing. So I bought one Meerschaum and about $200 worth of tobacco. So I've sort of switched, not Missouri Meerschaum, I should say. So I have sort of switched over. I guess once you accumulate, especially for all of you beginners out there, once you accumulate about 7 to 10 pipes, in other words, one for each day, beyond that point, start thinking about what you're really in favor of doing. Do you like a pipe because of its looks, or are you smoking it just to get the flavor of the tobacco? And I'm now leaning more towards flavor than I am towards looks, because nobody lets you smoke anywhere anymore. So what are you showing off to? So, take your pick and enjoy what you want.
Right on.
Dennis.
Right on.
Dennis, thank you so much for showing us your both your pipes and your tobacco selection. And I love the fact that you showed us the cabinet where it's all in. It's beautiful. By the way, could you put your address up on the chat there so we know how to get?
Why would I want to put my address on a chat? Hey,
now that we know where it's located, you know.
Sorry, guys, I ain't that crazy. Literally today, I just got a subpoena for a deposition on a case I handled for an insurance company 5 years ago. So trust me, you ain't getting my address. Sorry.
Well, we
The
tried.
question was, how much it cost you that corn cob in Chicago? Did they increase the price to $200?
Negative. No. Missouri Meerschaum, Phil was up there with a couple of the ladies, and I just went through. This way I could look at all. He had about 30 or 40 different Missouri Meerschaums there, different cobs. So I was able to go through and pick the one I wanted. And so that's what I did it for, simply because of the fact that Phil was being a nice guy, let me look. As everybody knows now, I got a big mouth. And so he was willing to let me yak with him for about 15, 20 minutes. And then I finally picked one. I don't know whether I did it because I wanted it. I think I did. Or out of sympathy because the poor guy was stuck with me for that long. All right. Who's next here? Louis, Mr. Carbone? No, I think you've already been.
No, I didn't go yet.
Look, not on that question. Go on, Luis.
Yeah.
I want to hear what you're spending your money on.
Okay, well, all right. So it's a long story. I'll try and make it short. I've been in this hobby since the mid 70s. So, at first it was pipes and some tobacco here and there. I've been to just about every New York pipe show since it began in, I believe it was 92 was the first show. And so I would buy some pipes at all those years at the New York Pipe Show. And then since 2009, I've been to just about every Chicago show. So I would save up through the year, and because once you experience Chicago, you know what's there. And I would save up through the year, and through all those years, I was doing pretty well. Not so currently, but back then I was doing pretty well. So I would go to Chicago with a good chunk of change, and I'd say maybe a good third of my collection came from either New York Pipe Show or Chicago. And then also, each time I would buy tobacco, I would get a couple of tins, one to open, a couple of, sock away, cellar or whatnot. So through all those years, I won't even tell you how many pipes I have. One day, maybe I'll share some photos of the cabinets that I got my collection in, as well as tobacco. So I've accumulated plenty of pipes and plenty of tobacco. These days, now, as it has been said, for a pipe, it would definitely, again, like it's been said, really would have to, appeal or be something special or something, a shape or what have you, that's missing in my collection. And as far as tobaccos, I buy Virginias. I like Virginias, straight Virginias, vapors, also English blends. And again, I try and buy a couple of tins of each, and that's kind of how I do it. It's slowed down, obviously, now in my current state and situation, but that's kind of how it went for me. So, a little less pipes nowadays and probably more tobacco currently. So that's my deal, my story. Let's see, we have any volunteers that would like to share their experience? Anyone? I'm gonna pick somebody.
Yeah. Do it.
Okay, I'll go next.
Okay, go ahead, Dimitri.
Right now I have about 150 pipes, more or less, in my collection, so I don't really need any more pipes. And if I'll buy another pipe, it will be something I cannot resist. I know I'll regret if I don't buy it. Right. So I buy definitely more tobaccos than pipes. And also I want to give you an update on a club pipe blend. I blended it, but it's still very moist. It needs to dry out. And it's been very humid here in New York lately, so it's very slow process. So I'm not sure how long it will take for tobacco to dry out sufficiently, but as soon as it's dry enough, I'll start packing it and shipping it. I'll let you know. I'll post it on Facebook when I'm at that stage.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Next, whoever wants to go next, go ahead.
You can raise your hand like in the beginning. So what about Pascal? Can you tell us something? You had shown us L-Tank. So you spend a little bit more on pipes. Do you spend also that much amount on tobacco?
As I'm living in South Germany, I, by law, have to spend most of my money on beer.
Yeah. You're from
Right on,
Franconia.
man. Right on.
You are from Franconia, right?
Yes. Yes.
Yes. So you have to spend your money on beer. That is a law. You won't get over that.
I don't have that many pipes actually. But I think it's relatively even. I try to buy more tobacco recently, so I can stock up a little bit, because I think taxes go up next year here in Germany. I'm not sure. Yeah, I have actually 12 pipes only, but I tend to like the more expensive pipes. But I only have 2 L-Tanks.
Yeah. Well, I have now 3, so. Yeah, it's a good thing to spend your money more on tobaccos, I think, because tobacco will get more expensive anyway. So you buy it always the cheapest when you buy it. So it's good to have more.
I tend to buy the tobacco in bulk as I can.
Yeah, that's what I'm switching to right now, especially from DTM. They have bulks. So for our American friends, bulks are not so common here in the EU and in Germany. The German pipe smoker likes it's 50 gram tins like that. It's good for storing, but not so good for the price, because you pay the tobacco tax also on the weight of the tin. So if you have a bulk, you get more money and you pay less tax. So who's next? Anyone raise his hand? Yeah, I see hands raising. But how it's going in San Diego, and how much you spend on pipes and tobacco?
I think it's going good here in San Diego. We're kind of in a heat wave lately, with a little more humidity than we're used to. So, but I think in the beginning, especially, I bought a lot more tobacco, and I probably have more tobacco than I'll die before I smoke it all. I have a feeling, even if I live to a good old age.
That's a very comfortable position.
Yeah. So I'm trying to share tobacco whenever I get a chance to, at the pipe clubs and that kind of thing. So normally if I'm going to buy tobacco, I'm looking at something like unique that comes along, like McBaron rolls out their new stuff, and or I just bought the Hearth and Homes Black House 10th anniversary. I'm having a bowl of it right now because I just thought that looked like a very interesting, and I like Black House anyway, and the first bowl is fantastic. I think now, though, I'm at a point where it's more, like you said, when you see something come along, either I'm looking for a really good bargain on something that really appeals to me, or at this point, I'm saving up money for when Vegas hits, and hopefully I can go and, I have a meerschaum in my on my list, maybe 2. So I want to go to the table there. There's a guy who has a table of about 4 tables of, meerschaums on the display, and do that kind of thing. And also I like looking at pipes from, as much as I like Savinelli's and that kind of thing, from, artisan pipe makers, you know what I mean? To give them, the benefit of having some cash too, and keep doing what they're doing. So that's the other thing that's nice about a pipe show is you see that. So also the other thing about a pipe show is if you can hold off, unless you see that pipe that pulls the trigger, hold off that second day, a lot of pipes get discounted, especially estate pipes. And so that's the time when you can really get a bang for your buck. So, but that's pretty much where I'm at now, I think. I just like, my recycled aluminum, you know what I mean? And bottles and stuff like that, I take in, that just goes into a fund for pipes or tobacco kind of thing. And so I have, whatever extra cash I can have, I try to use that to, put it toward the hobby. So.
Yeah, thank you. Great suggestions. So, would you choose someone, but there are some hands up, or should I pick someone?
Go ahead, Kent. Why don't you?
Okay, thanks, Bud. Dennis said he was cheap. I prefer to say I'm frugal, but hey, who are we kidding? I'm cheap, and it's forced being cheap when you're older and on a fixed income. And but 90% of the pipes I have are estate pipes, and I love to buy them because I can look for historic and oddities that way. I like those. I collect Wellingtons and Dr. Grabo Golden Dukes, and so I've got just small lines of things I'm looking for. But even if you're buying an estate pipe at 10% of what it would cost to buy a new one, if you buy about 10 of those or 20 of those, then it equals one new one. So it's a matter of I'm slowing down because a couple hundred is more than I can smoke throughout a year, and I try very hard too. It's somebody's got to do it. So as much as I love getting the pipes and searching out those collections, I buy in bulk, and I'm just, after about 40 years, I'm finally zeroing in on what my tastes are in tobacco, and it has changed, and so I am at the point in spending most of my funds now on buying bulk tobacco in the ones I like. And that, there's nothing exclusive about that. Though there's some things that, if I can only get it in a tin and it's something I want, I'll get it. But again, that's something that I have to think about and plan out for a while. But yeah, the last pipe show I was at was also the first one I was at. It was Chicago a couple of years ago. And yeah, it is sensory overload. There's a lot there, but I was able to, in terms of pipes, I paid $10 for an estate meerschaum. I really had to bite my tongue or whatever reminder to keep me from overspending. But yeah, that's great. Pipe shows from my one experience in the one place are great, and you get some deals. So that's about all I can share with anyone, which really isn't different from what most people have said. But maybe Boris has.
I have a question.
Okay, go ahead, Amir.
Yeah, I know you have a lot of pipes, and some of your pipes are very certain brands like Rebels or whatever you mentioned. So when you collect like a certain brand, do you ever buy a pipe that you know you will not smoke it more than once? It's like just one time and then it's just for collection. Have you ever?
No, I'm not that kind of collector. If I'm going to have it, I'm going to smoke it. There's not one. I have one from about 1880, and I don't know how old this one is or this one, but chances are it's more like early 1800s or late 1700s. I'm gonna smoke them. I'm gonna try to restore some of them to their original condition and that kind of thing. But no, I'm not that kind of collector to just show them off. I mean, look at the wonderful display I have. Some of them just looks like they've been dropped there. There is a system here, but there's limited space to do any kind of system.
Yeah, that's what they're made for, smoking.
No.
So would you go on, Boris?
Yep. Can you hear me?
Yeah, loud and clearly.
Okay. By far, I spend more on tobaccos. I have about 30 pipes, but they are most of them are estate pipes. And if you smoke 3 to 5 bowls a day, like I do, so it means that tobacco takes a great share of your funds. So by far, it's more on tobacco.
Which tobaccos do you prefer to buy? German brand STG blends or what else?
McBaren and German tobacco.
Yeah. So DTM, HU, whatever.
Yeah, and last purchase was from that Modstech Kurdish brand.
Oh, that is a really nice one. A little bit hard to get because it's produced in low volume, but it's a very delicious blend. So if you can get it, it's a great Virginia Perique and maybe a little bit of Burley and Kentucky. I don't know. It has changed.
Yeah, Virginia Burley and Perique.
Yeah, great. So who's the next? Justin, how it is with tobaccos and pipes for you? On which you spend more?
Yes, so I haven't really been in the hobby for very long. I'm almost at a full year. So there's still a lot of pipes I want to get. That being said, I kind of try to balance it. I try to buy maybe one pipe a month and, several tins of tobacco, maybe twice a month, But I also don't really like to do a lot of shopping online and stuff. Like, I don't like to hunt down stuff. Like, I don't go on eBay, and it's a lot of work, So I usually just kind of hit up like smoking pipes or pipes of cigars. And I like to just kind of wait until they have sales and just buy a bunch of what looks good. I'm starting to get really where what kind of tobacco I really like. Mostly like right now, I'm really into Virginias and vapors, but I still love Balkans and Englishes. So I may pick up like a little bit of that here and there. But yeah, there's a lot of pipes I want to get. I'd like to have enough pipes where I could smoke, 3 bowls a day, of the same tobacco if I want, switch out pipes for that, but it's a work in progress. Definitely.
Yeah.
Justin, did you get that package I sent you?
I haven't yet, no.
Because I sent it a long time ago. Well, it's been, I think, like 2 or 3 weeks.
Yeah, I think it was 2 weeks. I think it was the last show.
Yeah, at least 2 weeks.
I haven't seen it yet, but doesn't mean it's not coming. It's probably on its way.
USPS.
Yeah. How about Saeed? Saeed Salik.
I want to say something first. As you know, I'm from Iran, and Iran have a lot of issues right now. Because of sanctions, we haven't any tobacco in Iran important. And we have a few, maybe 5 tobacco shops. We can find real pipe, not a China pipe, made from plastic, made from broiler, and we limit to tobacco. So if something you unlocked the day, and you must catch it because you never can find it again. So, but I love to find great tobacco because right now I almost have a 100 pipe, and I think it's enough because I can't find any more tobacco. My favorite one is Durbar from Dunhill, but you know it's stop it, no more import product. I don't know why every blend from Dunhill reproduct from Peterson or other brand, but the Durbar is not. And so I'm replenishment with some other tobacco such as Solani, aged barley flake, but nothing can find. So in Iran, we must to live like a carpe diem, live in a moment. If you find tobacco, you like it, buy it. If you find the pipe, you like it, buy, or maybe the lighter. We can find a good lighter. So if you see the Dunhill lighter, DuPont lighter, Peterson, and etc., you must buy it. So never you can find it again.
Yeah.
Hey, Saeed.
Yeah.
Saeed, this is Dennis in Indiana. I was curious. I have 2 hookahs here. I didn't show pictures of, but I was curious how much. You're saying it's hard to get tobacco in Iran. How about shisha? Is that really readily available, or is that limited choice too?
Hookah, it's different from the pipe tobacco. Every Iranian people had a maybe 1 or more hookah in their house. All is from our culture. We love to smoke hookah. We sit side by side when you visit a family or friend meeting. We smoke hookah, but hookah is not I think safe tobacco right now because the change in past it was a pure tobacco. Right now we have a lot of additive and it's not good healthy tobacco.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a completely different tobacco style. You have a lot of ingredients in it, and tobacco is only 22 to 25% of it. So it's a completely another story.
Yeah,
Yes,
well, also like hookah tobacco, it's usually mixed with molasses and some flavoring, usually fruit flavoring. Also in Iran, there is another species of the nicotiana plant, which is grown in Iran and used mostly for hookah tobacco. And they usually don't even cut it rip it by hand, and then mix it with molasses and flavoring and use it for nargile or hookah.
But let me say something. As I tell you, we never can find a good pipe in Iran. But we are artisan pipe maker, and they are research and find and test the material to create a pipe. Right now we have some root material they call K-comb. I don't know what in English. They create a pipe from the native Iranian root from the tree and make a good pipe, but not the good as the briar. So we have not any choice.
No, then we will wish you that it will get better in the future. It's I know it's very difficult political wise.
Yeah.
that is too much. We don't talk about politics here. So we wish you the best. So would you choose someone else to ask a question about tobacco and pipes?
If the hand is down, I think no more raise hand.
Yes, then let me pick someone. I will find someone. What is with you, Arthur Greenberg? How you spend your money? More on pipes or on tobacco?
Is this thing on? Can you hear me?
Yes, I hear you loud and clearly. Perfect.
Oh, thank you. Well, I've been smoking a pipe since the mid-'70s. I got away from it a little in the 90s, went more to cigars, came back to the pipe around 8 years ago. And I'd say half and half, because I really don't buy very expensive pipes. I was very fortunate. A buddy of mine who stopped smoking pipes gave me about 5 Dunhills that he had inherited. So I pick up some pipes from Bishop's Pipes, previously owned. This is a Carry Magic Inch pipe. So I have a very eclectic collection. I have about, I'd say, 20 tins working, trying different types. My go-to blend is Epiphany. That's the one I usually get in bulk. But then I right now I'm smoking Big and Burley.
That's a good one. That's good.
But, I hear some of you guys smoking like 5 bowls a day. I don't have the time. There's no place to smoke here. When I first got married 30-something years ago, my wife said I could smoke the pipe in the house. And then one day, I have this big, I think it's Riviera. I think it's made by Savinelli. Huge bowl. And I was smoking that, and it was a very still day. There was no wind. And my wife came home from, she was going for her master's. She came home late at night. She opened the door to the house. It looked like London during the big smog in the 50s. And she said, what the F is going on in here? She said, look, I know I said you could smoke in the house, but do me a favor, no more. So if I'm in the car, I get to smoke, but not in her car, in my car. And so I'm dependent on the weather to smoke. So if I can get one bowl a day in, I'm happy. Although today I'm visiting my daughter upstate New York, and so this is my second bowl today.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about, and we all love our wives and spouses.
Yeah, happy wife, happy life.
Absolutely. So, yeah, go on.
No, go. What were you going to say? Ask me.
You can pick someone. Yeah, I think Stephen has raised his hand.
Oh, okay. I don't have any pictures up, so whoever wants to go, please go.
So I switch it over. Stephen, tell us your story.
Is that Stephen in Brea?
No, Stephen, you.
Oh, Stephen, me. Well,
yeah.
I started buying pipes in the late 60s, early 70s. I had a store in Crown Center in Kansas City, Missouri, and there was a store on the second floor called Fred Dibel's Tobacconist. And I would go up there, and apparently I was going up there every week, and I was coming home with a pipe every week. And I did this for about a year, so I'm pretty well set on pipes. But now I buy mostly tobacco. And like other guys, I buy it in bulk too, because it's a lot cheaper, and plus I can jar it. And It works out fine. Every now and then, I might want to try something different. And then you buy a tin of it. But for the most part, I buy it in bulk. I do have an interesting story to tell you guys, though. Yesterday, we finally had the installers come out. We bought a new refrigerator. And this is a pipe story. Anyway, I let them come in through the garage. And when I got in the house, I set my lighter, this lighter, it's a Zycar. I set it down on the countertop. And when the guys were all done and they were taking the trash out and this, that, and the other, and, we were getting the refrigerator all ready, I was looking around for my lighter. I couldn't find it. And I thought, you know what? I think it's sitting on top of some of the trash. And I think it got tossed. About an hour and a half later, I had gone around to the side patio to close the gate. My lighter was sitting on top of the patio table. Apparently, they found it, and they didn't come back and knock on the door. Maybe they didn't want to bother us. And they opened up the side gate and put it on the table. And I just thought that was amazing. Just amazing.
So you were going to say that you were going to use your old refrigerator as the new pipe stand.
I would have, but it smelled too bad on the inside after about 2 weeks.
Well, that could be me.
I was really pleasantly surprised, and I wish I could get a hold of them. And I've tried to, but so far I haven't had any luck. Just to thank them, and I'd love to give them, a few bucks for doing that, because that was just really nice of them. And so that's pretty much what I do with my money, more on tobacco than anything else. I've got enough pipes. Why don't I pass this on to Miguel?
Hello, thank you, Stephen. Like you guys, it's all relevant where you live when it comes to picking tobacco or pipe. So I think I have enough pipe now. So tobacco for me is basically the one that I'm trying to collect more. So for my friends in the States, I'll give you a perfect example. Even if the Ampora Virginia blend, $7.79 now, if it is double the price, it's still cheaper for me to buy it in the States. I don't want that to happen, because I don't want my American friends to basically buy the same blend for double the price. So for me, it's more tobacco, because right now I have enough collection on my with regards to my pipe. And for Justin, I have a very good advice for you, and I like what you're doing, because you don't go online all the time. You don't go to eBay. The best advice I can give people that start with their collection. I started with three pipes: a bent, Zulu, and a billiard. Those 3 pipes basically is what I have. I used it for about a year. And then I found out that I would like basically most pipe, I like it straight: billiard, Zulu, or doublet. So when I start collecting, I basically have what Dennis actually, I agree with Dennis. I used to have 7 pipes, 1 in each day. So when my kids were born in 98, after smoking for 20 years, I basically set aside all my pipes. Not because of health reason. It's just, you have a young family, so you set aside the pipes and have a healthy living of somewhat. So when the kids right now are 20 and 25 and 21, so they're all grown up now. So I decided to basically go back and do the pipe smoking again. And then I tried basically Sabinelli. So my collection of pipes, the 7 pipes that I have 4 Dunhills, 3 Castello, one of them is Piamara. So when I tried Sabinelli, it's just, man, it's a different type of animal. So I went apeshit with regards to Sabinelli. I bought a lot of Sabinellis. But right now, I'm pretty much set with my with my pipe collection. I have a lot of pipe. I'm thinking of giving most of them away. So I want to go back to that idea of having a maximum of 14 pipes. So the 4 downhills that I sold and the 3 Castellos that I sold, I bought them back after trading some of my pipes. So I have limited amount of pipes now, but I like what Dennis said before. And my advice to young people that or young smokers or new smokers that want to do their collection is, I want to warn you what DDR said. Before you get infected of what we call pipe acquisition syndrome, you'll be all over the place, keep buying pipes. See what you like, and then concentrate your collection on that one. Don't be all over the place, because this pipe can get away from you, this hobby. I mean, the next thing you realize, you're spending a lot of money. So make sure what you like, and then if you can, 7 after a maximum of 14, that should be enough for you to smoke. But other than that, I mean, it's the same thing what Per Jensen said. If I see a pipe that I like, my name is in it, so I have to buy it. So that's, for me right now in Canada, it's more tobacco than basically pipe. I have enough pipe to basically last me a lifetime. So that is basically, I spend more money, even 50-50 between pipes and tobacco. But right now, where I am is about 70-30 split, more of them on tobacco. And for that, I'll choose Albin from Texas.
Thank you, Miguel. I'm kind of mirroring some of the comments from some of the other guys here. I've got about room for about 60 pipes, and I've got maybe 55. I've got a 48 pipe cabinet on the wall, and I've got an old barber shop's leather strap that holds about 12 pipes. I've got a few on my bar, right, and some pipe openers. And what I'm doing now is probably leaning more toward tobacco. I've kind of been smoking, I think maybe 6 years now. I was mostly a cigar smoker, and I kind of ended up reverting to pipes. And now I'll concede that as much as I still like cigars, I'll probably go for the pipe 75% of the time. And what I'm doing in order to help control my pipe acquisition disorder is, if I buy a pipe, I've got to get rid of a pipe. And it's kind of helping me ferret through those pipes I just don't smoke for whatever reason. Maybe the draw is not as good as I'd like, or it just doesn't smoke as well as I'd like, or I'm not enamored with it like I was when I first bought it. And so what I'm doing is now focusing more on pipes with some history. I think Bud talked about that a little bit. I'm in the Texas history business, so I'm really looking at pipes that have some history. And I'm also looking at a couple of artisan pipes because I don't have many of those. And I've got reservations for the West Coast Pipe Show. Assuming they end up having it, which right now they're planning to. So we'll see. And I'm going to actually go there and look at a couple of pipes I can actually touch and feel. And we're looking for that Costello C Rock. I'm looking for maybe another Radici. I'm just looking for a couple other, or maybe an artisan pipe, especially there's some really good Texas carvers in Texas. And that's kind of what I'm focused on now. But I kind of really helped me ferret out what I really like and what pipes I really like. So right now, I'm probably buying more tobacco and being a little more selective on my pipes. But it's a journey, and I would never put myself in a box and say I will never exceed 55 or 60 pipes. But right now, that's kind of what I'm doing.
For me, it's been like a journey, like Alvin says now. When I started, you have a budget of maybe 50, 60 bucks. You buy Peterson, Sabinelli's, and the basics. Then when I belong to the Spanish club, we get so lucky that we get so many good Italian artisans selling like Don Carlos or Le Nouvelet for like 400, 500 pipes that they made it for like 120, 150. So you could afford a lot of the pipe of the year or pipe of the group. That was great. That was kind of the second step. But you buy everything, like Steve was saying too, you buy, and then you realize you don't like many. It's just, oh, this is an opportunity. I have to take the opportunity. So when you came here and started going to the conventions, you have tons of millions of estate pipes. And it's what Mike said at first. Once you're in that stage, you buy and buy and buy. Like Miguel was saying, hey, I like these 6 shapes and I'm going to buy these ones. Do I need these other ones that I smoke or that I barely smoke anymore? So I trade these other ones that I don't smoke anymore for 2 or 3 that I like. So you try to sell or trade 10 of them and you always come back home with 5 or 6. There's no way to control that. Either you trade, either you buy. So now what I realize is I'm buying, since I'm more a tobacco guy than a pipe, it's like I have my classic English style pipes, group 2s, group 3s, group 4, and that's it. I don't care about Italian pipes. I'm not going to afford Chicago $700 pipes. And then on the tobaccos, it's like when pipes and cigars before and smoking pipes, they have so many deals that buy 3 and get 4 of many things. Or all the McClellans, I used to buy tons and tons and tons of tobacco. So then I realized I probably smoke over 400 different blends. But in the end now, I'm ordering only the 30, 40 blends that I really love. And like what Mike said, let's buy it now that is 10, 12 bucks instead of like 15, 20 bucks that is going to be in 2, 3 years. So I tend to order all these 40, 50 vapors, a couple Balkans that I like, Virginias and Orientals. And when I go to the conventions, what I do, I spend a little bit more money on all McClellans, hard to find, all scooters like a Cope one. I went crazy and I spent $100 on a scooter tin from the 70s. So that's what I normally do now.
Yeah, great. So what's with you, Sean McConnell? What you're spending most of the money you have put aside, tobacco or pipes?
So as a newer pipe smoker, I think I have 14, 15 pipes. So I feel like if I didn't buy another pipe, I'd be fine. Take care of these. I clean them through, I go through all of them, clean them all up. So it's really tobacco. I've got a couple of flats of mason jars that are full. So there's a couple pounds. I try to pick up on Friday, my way home from work. I'm very fortunate to live very close to a couple of tobacco shops. So my Friday, I pull in, chit chat, pick up a couple tins, and now I'm starting to collect tins. Once a month, I try to pick up some bulk and can that stuff. Although I will say, last night, enjoying a smoke and some internet, looking at smokingpipes.com and looking through their blowfishes. Now, if any of you guys need to buy a kidney or a lung, I would really like to buy a blowfish. So I'm willing to sell. I'm a carpenter, so my left arm, I'm willing to let go of the left arm. But they're beautiful. The blowfish, I mean, the lines, some of those grains, but, putting down, $2,000, $3,000 for a pipe, who knows, maybe someday. But yeah, mostly I'm listening to the wisdom of those guys who've gone before me. And all I hear is tobacco, buy tobacco, buy tobacco, buy what you like. It could be gone tomorrow. And I would be a fool not to listen to those who have wisdom. So it's as much tobacco as I can comfortably purchase.
Yeah, thank you. So Thomas Bose, I see you now clearly. Would you tell what you are spending your money on?
Yes, can you hear me okay?
Yes.
Okay, very good. Yeah, I'm sorry. I heard your call out earlier, and I was having all sorts of technical problems. And so I'm glad I've been able to reestablish connection with everyone. This is my second time here, so appreciate being able to participate in the group. But to go to your question, I originally started smoking about 25 years ago, a pipe, and then gave it up sort of more or less in deference to my wife's views, sort of like Arthur, and took it up again right at the start of the pandemic. I had been a cigar smoker and was going to a cigar bar, which closed down. And I was trying to find something a little more acceptable to do around the house, outside the house. And but I could not find my old pipes, which are in a box somewhere. They include a couple Dunhills, some really nice pipes I had 25 years ago. So I started buying pipes again, mainly Savinellis. And then I had to explore this whole world of tobacco, pipe tobacco, that I hadn't been part of for 25 years. And even back in the day, I was just going into the tobacco store and buying whatever kind of smelled good, probably a lot of aromatics. So the YouTube videos have been very good in terms of introducing me to new blends and giving me things sort of more or less in my taste range that I'd like to try. So I would say I kind of alternate months. 1 month over the last 16 months, 1 month I'll buy a pipe or two, and then the next month I'll buy a load of tobacco. Mainly English, Balkans, and vapors. But it's just been great getting back into it. It's been great with the help of all the YouTube pipe community to learn something about the different tobaccos. And I've really enjoyed it. And it's made the last 16 months actually very enjoyable, which is probably a little incorrect to say in light of everything that went on. But nonetheless, it really was a very consoling thing to be doing.
Yeah, thank you. Great story. And thank you for having you today. And maybe you join us regularly. Having said that, I will take the question back to DDR. What you are spending more, on tobaccos or on pipes? And if we have a second question, you can ask us another short question.
Oh, I want to hear this.
Hold on.
I want to hear this.
Hold on one second. I'm trying to figure out where my, oh, there we go. Well, it's been a journey, and I've resonated with so many of what you different members of the club have been talking about. When I first picked up the hobby again, I bought a lot of pipes. I bought a lot of pipes on eBay. I started to buy some artisan pipes here and there. But I didn't want to spend a whole lot of money on it. But I wanted to sort of have the feel of different pipe shapes. You know, what a billiard would feel like, what a bent would feel like. You know, and I went through a lot of different stages. Like, oh, this is going to be my favorite pipe shape, and then I try something else, and I'm like, oh no, this is going to be my favorite pipe shape. So I probably have about 100 right now, but I've boxed up most of them. I boxed up about maybe 60 of them to give away. Some of them, Steph has encouraged me that there's a couple of different organizations that send pipes overseas to our military. So I'm going to, get rid of some of those, and probably the rest of them I'll put on eBay or something, and stick with just a few pipes and not spend, a bunch of money on just everything that comes, that looks interesting. But
keep telling yourself that.
I'm telling myself that. No, well, I've got a plan. I know. So there are a few artisan carvers now that really, really intrigue me. I just really love it. And my current favorite is Chris Kelly at Eldridge Pipes. And, I've got two of his, I've got two more on order, and they're just so bizarre that I love them, and that's what I want to put in my collection. And as I discover more, like I've got to pick up something from Amir. Like there's a few pipes that I have planned, and that's what I'll spend my money on. But mostly, I would say, I'm spending money on tobacco. I'm like Bud. I've got more tobacco now than I'll ever smoke. I don't smoke that many bowls a week. That the amount of tobacco I have here, I'm also going to have to start giving away or something. So I'll let you guys know if there's anything you want in my collection. And then when I go to some of the pipe shows, I'm looking for some of those I've never tried this before kind of tobaccos, and try some of that. Guys like David Martinez Ruiz has been a great mentor for me, talking about some of the different tobaccos that he thinks I would like, and so I've tried some of those, and that's been really cool. So that is, I would guess that what I'm going to spend money on the most going forward is traveling, is going to some pipe shows and hanging out with you guys, as much as I can possibly, meet up with you guys who are going to go to some of the pipe shows. And that's what I'll probably spend the most money on.
One thing I recommend, if you guys have the luck of, or the possibility of creating a club or belonging to a club, you don't waste so much money on tobaccos, because you can try one, don't like it, you don't waste $10. That's another good way of trying. Of course, sharing with everybody else what you have. But that's the best way to go fast and determine what kind of tobaccos you like, without, like Mike and me probably doing with his Laraquias and me with a lot of Burleys that I tried, and some Laraquias that I didn't care for. I probably spent, I don't know, $300, $400 that, you smoke it, you like it, but you pass on that. I wish I had a chance to smoke it here and there individually, so I don't waste much more money.
Totally.
Yeah.
It seems like being a YouTube presenter, you're going to be able to get your hands on some rare tobaccos. These guys are always getting like shipments of crazy tobacco that you just can't find. It's
I guess
I got to start making videos, man.
I haven't been discovered yet, So, but I'd love to do that, because I do like, making those videos, and I would like to make those videos without investing hundreds of dollars on the tobacco that I'm reviewing.
That's where, like, that guy Hollywood Breyer, I would love to know where he gets crazy stuff, super old, just amazing stuff. He does great videos, but it's like, where does he find all that stuff?
I know.
Yeah, I was watching a video of, was Pipe Monkey. I forget his full name. Pipe Monkeys, whatever. And he got a shipment from Smokey Dan, and it was like full of all this like amazing sounding tobacco. I'm like, my heart, like, it actually hurt watching. I was like,
yeah, someday. Well, listen, guys, we are about at that time. Not yet, so don't start logging out yet, but we are close to that time when I send everybody back to their wives and family and whatnot. And before I do that, I want to make a few announcements about upcoming guests and, very important, a change in the schedule. So I announced this at the beginning of the meeting today, but I want to make sure that some of you who came in a little bit late, next weekend, next Saturday, 8:30 a.m. Pacific time, which will be 11:30 East Coast time.
Yeah.
Is that right?
70:30 in Europe, Central Time, and an hour earlier in London time.
So, and we're doing this, and by the way, we will post it. We'll post it all over with all the different time conversions. But we're doing this because our guest next week is Nikolai Nielsen from the Danish Pipe Shop. And I've already had a chance to chat with him a couple of times and send some messages back and forth. Really, really fun guy. And he's going to tell us all kinds of stories about the shop and his dad. And maybe we can tease him out to tell some stories that nobody else knows about Tom Eltang, because he's a good friend of Tom's.
He's
And
an
so-
amazing guy. He
What's-
had helped me out a couple times. I was looking for some L-tangs and I just messaged him, and he, like, as soon as it was the pipe I was looking for came in, sent me an email. He's an awesome guy.
he really is. I agree. So it's going to be a lot of fun to have him on the show, and we're going to do that at an earlier time. And then after, not on the same day, but another meeting, we're going to go back to the Danish Pipe Shop and do a virtual tour. So he's going to, again, have to either change the time or we'll record it so that we can show it during the regular time. Whatever works for the club here. I'm open to doing by consensus there. But that'll be fun. He's going to show us all of, he's got the new location is about 3 years old now? And
3 or 4 years.
And it's huge. It's huge. So he's got all kinds of new display cases and all kinds of stuff like that. So it'll be fun to travel around virtually in there. Coming up after that, in the month of August, we have last 2 weeks ago when we had our last meeting, we had a closed viewing of Father the Flame. And as you may know, or if you guys were watching it with us, that the focus of the documentary is really on this one pipe carver named Lee Van Eck, right? I've had a chance to speak to him. Miguel was the one who reached out to him originally, and then I followed up with that. Another terrific guy with a ton of stories. And so he's going to be on the show on the 24th, I believe, the 24th of August.
21st.
21st. Okay, 21st of August. And then the following week after that is Artur Lopez, the artist, the painter who's painted so many pictures of famous pipe people. And so that's coming up, and it'll be here before you know it. That's our preview of what's coming up. There was a couple of questions that came in from the live stream group here, and I'm just going to toss them out because we'll talk about them the next time we get together. One of the great follow-up questions was, now that we have a sense of what we're all spending money on, pipes and tobacco, what breaks your heart more by not making the spend? Not buying the pipe or not buying the tobacco?
That's a hard question.
Isn't that a hard? That's a
It's got to be the pipe, and here's why. Because for the most part, no matter what tobacco you're looking for, there's websites out there where if you want to spend the money, you can get it. Pipes. Certain ones, once they're gone, or it's a lot harder to find a used pipe. Specifically the one you're looking for, then I feel that it would be for tobacco. So, I mean, for the most part, any tobacco I really wanted, if you're willing to pay a premium, you can get it. A pipe, maybe not so easy.
The thing about that answer, which I anticipated that answer, but that's a very logical answer. And what I'm talking about is the illogic of your emotional feeling of, when you've got that tobacco. Like I pull up Turbo Tin, probably every day, and then if I come back to it in the afternoon and the tobacco that I was looking for is now sold out, I'm like, ah. So let's save that to the next time we come back together and make that part.
But here's another thing. I'm sure you probably know it, and if you don't, I'm gonna ruin your pockets. The PTTS on Facebook. Have you seen that one?
The pipe tobacco trading shop, is that?
It's just PTTS, and basically all it
pipe
is.
Tobacco Trade and Sale.
Yeah, that's what it is. Yeah, and it's like anything you want there, you can find. Somebody has it.
Okay, you have just ruined my children's college fund, right there.
It's dangerous. Just be warned.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So I know it's a little bit early, but I'm gonna shoo everybody out because I am actually going to my in-laws this weekend, and my wife's been texting me for the last half hour about whether I'm ready or not. Here's the deal. This is still my favorite place to be every week. It is. Today was really special. I don't know if everybody else felt this way, but a lot of new faces, a lot of faces who haven't been here for a while have come back today, and everybody fully engaged and talking and sharing. That is really, really a wonderful way to spend my Saturday afternoon. So thank you guys for being
Last
here.
week was
What you can do
horrible.
then is blame it
Not
on
having a
us
meeting.
that you cannot visit your in-laws and you can stay longer.
Yeah, not having a meeting last week
that will not
throws off
work.
my whole week. It's kind of crazy. Like when you don't have it, you're so used to, all right, getting ready at 2 o'clock on a Saturday. When there's no meeting, it's like, what do I do?
My wife usually has something for me to do.
Right. All those items on your honeydew list, and it's like, but I can't. It's my pipe smoking time. I can't do that.
Oh, it's a bumblebee.
Well, all right. So having said all that, I just want to say thank you. Be safe, be healthy this week. Come back next week. Remember, it's at an earlier time. I love you guys. Now get the hell out of here. All right. I'll see you.
See you.
Bye, everyone.
See you guys.
All right.
Thanks for
See you
the
next
everybody.
week.
Have a good week.
Bye.
Take care, everybody.
Bye.
Enjoy.
See you later.
Bye now.